Welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I want to remind everybody the Ireland Contracting Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, Pittsburgh's #1 exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Josh Taylor in for Bob Pompiani. Ron Cook is here with me. Ron, let's shift gears. We talked about the Steelers in the first part of the show. Let's shift gears to the Pirates. Austin Meadows was on the air with Starkey and Muller this afternoon on 93.7 The Fan. Also, a really interesting story by Rob Beartemple of The Athletic last week, talking about basically the confusion, not a lot of communication as to what he was expected to do or what he needed to do differently. Today he told Starkey and Muller, I felt like I'd earned an opportunity to stay here. What do you make of this situation and maybe where the Pirates took some missteps here?
Well, I think they waited too long to send him down. He didn't play for like a week, and a kid like that has to play. They should have sent him down a week earlier. I was in the group talking to Huntington on Sunday, and he said, well, we had a doubleheader Saturday. We didn't want to be caught short, so they waited till Sunday to send him down. I have no problem with them sending down. Marte has really come on. Polanco has really come on. Corey Dickerson is a better player right now. He could be moved before the trade deadline, and then you're going to see Meadows back. He needs to be somewhere where he plays, whether it's here or whether it's in Indianapolis. He needs to play as far as I'm concerned. They waited too long to send him down, but I don't think they made a mistake by sending him down.
Let's talk trade deadline since you bring it up. We saw another move today. 2 days since the All-Star game, 2 trades. Manny Machado was the one I don't think surprised anybody. We knew that would be a big deal. However, the second one today, first reliever has moved. Brad Hand goes from San Diego to Cleveland. They also get another reliever from San Diego in exchange for one prospect. It's their #1 prospect, but only one guy in exchange for 2 major league relievers.
Yeah, it's a catcher, the #1 prospect, and Cleveland's going for it right now, and they got Brad Hand, who's under control for a couple more years. They think they can win this year, next year, maybe the year after, so they don't mind giving up a prospect to do it. It just makes me think, what would Felipe Vasquez bring? I think he is much better than Hand is. If you're the Pirates, do you really need a closer at this point? Would you try to get the return that Cleveland did? I don't know what Huntington is going to do, but he said Sunday that the #1 thing teams want are young relief pitchers under control, contractual control, and that exactly fits Felipe Vasquez. He would bring you back more than anything else by far. Now, do you want to give him up? Do you think it might take you a couple years to win again? If so, you absolutely give him up.
I think it speaks a lot to what could possibly be out there as far as options.
He's better than Brad Hand.
Absolutely.
For me.
In my opinion, I think there's a more diverse repertoire there, and I think there's a higher ceiling also, because we saw what Vasquez struggled with earlier in the season, but in his last, I think it's 19
He's pitched like Felipe Rivera.
He looks more like the guy that was brought in the first place.
Right.
Let's go back to the phone lines, or I should say go to the phone lines. Let's go to Jim in the South Hills. Jim, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Yeah, Josh, Ron, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling in.
On the All-Star game the other night, I think we had on display 2 players in the game that are the reason why the Pirates, unless we change, aren't going to be competitive. First player, Charlie Morton. The guy's history was the Braves couldn't figure him out. The Pirates couldn't get out of him what you should. And the Astros finally did. So what the Pirates did was they just didn't figure out how to develop him.
So didn't the Braves, apparently.
And the Astros did, and I think we had the best. Jim Benedict was as good as it gets as a pitching coach years ago under Charlie. And then the other player was Ian Happ. And Ian Happ, all we had to do was spend the money, and we would have had him. So,
I think you mean J. Happ.
I mean J.
Ian Happ plays for the Cubs.
And
but
he was also drafted by the Cubs.
It's an easy guy to mix up. But no, your point is well taken. I mean, they haven't done a great job developing their guys. I don't know how much credit I give Jim Benedict. I personally give Ray Searage more. And if you want to give him more blame, that's okay too, because he's here every day with these guys. He's a hands-on guy, where Benedict wasn't. But your point about them not developing guys enough, not pitchers necessarily, but I think position players too.
I think they both count.
They
honestly
just have not been able to develop these guys well enough or draft them well enough, and I think that's a Neil Huntington shortcoming.
I'm one of those people when it comes to Searage and also Jim Benedict. I have the theory. I see it more as 50-50. I see Jim Benedict as the guy that identified the problems, maybe diagnosed them, and Searage was the guy that treated them. Maybe Benedict found the leaks and Searage plugged the holes. But I do believe that those two working together were a much better combination than maybe working separately. Let's go back to the phone lines. Nick in Chippewa. Nick, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, thanks for taking my call here.
Thanks for calling in, Nick.
I want to talk about Ryan Shazier leaving for New England.
You mean James Harrison leaving for New England?
James Harrison, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
No big deal.
And so on that topic, I would think that people kind of sniping him on the way out. I don't know why they would do that. Bill Belichick is kind of a better coach than Mike Tomlin. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place right here.
Well,
you're no different than many of our callers.
Yeah,
you're doing just
your
fine.
point about
Okay.
Harrison, I mean, it was time for him to go here. They probably should have let him go early in the season when they knew he wasn't going to play. I mean, Joey Porter came out in camp and said, hey, he's our safety blanket, our insurance policy. Mm-hmm. He's not going to play much. We're going with the young guys, and that's fine. Well, then don't sign James Harrison or don't bring him back or release him. Give him a chance to go somewhere else.
Didn't you use the term pitch count on James Harrison?
And don't make him stick around and embarrass him the way you did, and then allow him to get away with embarrassing you by sleeping in meetings and not staying for games. That was just a bad situation from both sides, and I fault both sides.
I would totally agree with that. I thought the way the Steelers handled it could have been better, and I thought the way he behaved because of it could have also been better. Let's go to Joe in Bridgeville before we take a break. Joe, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hello?
Hello, Joe.
Why would you want to get rid of Vasquez when the bullpen's finally shaping up? It's Vasquez and Crick, and you're done quick. If Santana comes along and they can develop Rodriguez, they have a lights-out bullpen. But then again, the conundrum is, will they improve the rest of the team where they can win games? They'll have a bullpen like they had 3 years ago with Watson, Melanson, Grilly. Seriously.
Yeah, but they're a below 500 team. They're not in any kind of playoff race. They're not in the wild card contention. They're not in a division contention. Now, do you think they can go 9-1, 8-1 again after the All-Star break? If they do, come back and talk to me, and I might change my opinion. I'm only saying that Vasquez would bring you back by far the most. And if you're not a playoff caliber team, do you really need a closer? Lights out. And Huntington, the one thing he's been able to do, whether it's been Joel Hanrahan, Grilly, Melanson, Velasquez, he's been able to get closers in here. I'm not advocating trading them. I'm just saying if you want to get something back and you are looking to turn over the team a little bit and have a better chance of winning next year, the year after, he's the guy you trade.
Another thing I'd say, because you compared it to those previous bullpens the caller did, there's something missing in that. The starting rotations were also better. The defense in the infield and the outfield were also better. So it made the job of getting the beginning of the game handed over to the bullpen a lot easier, and they had more opportunities to close games down. So that's another thing that sticks out. Got to take another break. We'll answer more phone calls when we come back. Stick around.